Welcome into a brand new episode of Lynx Unleashed, the official podcast of the Minnesota Lynx. Wendell Epps here with Cecilia, Zandalasini. Ceci, thank you so much for hopping on with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, Ceci. Well, we're going to talk about all the great things that you've been able to do this season and even before with the Minnesota Lynx. But first, I want to take you back to your childhood, your early life, growing up in Italy. What was that like? What were some of your biggest interests growing up? Just how did you even get into basketball in the first place?
It's pretty an easy story because my dad was playing. I have an older brother that was playing too, so I just started by watching them playing and just wanted to emulate them and do the same thing, especially whatever my brother was doing, I was gonna do the same. That's what I wanted to do. So with basketball was the same thing. I started playing because of him, and then I just fell in love with the game. It was super fun. I was like 3 and 4 years old. I was already able to play because we have a very young team in my hometown. So that's how I started.
So was there anything else outside of basketball that you really loved growing up, or was it kind of just all basketball for you?
No, about sports, it's only been basketball.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, just basketball.
Okay.
Since the beginning.
Nice. And did you have like any players that you idolized growing up, like outside of your family that you watched at all, like the WNBA or maybe EuroLeague over in Europe there?
Actually, it was pretty much only NBA because the WNBA was not streaming in Europe, so I was never able to watch any games when I was young. So it was literally NBA. I remember me and my brother waking up like at 3 a.m. to watch the NBA finals. So I have great memories about that with him. I remember I loved Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah,
he was one of my favorite. I remember we watched them when they won the ring. I remember I was home. I was awake in the night. And then, of course, Kobe Bryant. He was another one that I love watching, playing. I was going home after school, going on like a YouTube in our old computer. I was just watching the highlights. So that's my memories about those days.
Awesome. Two great players, right, with a lot of crafty moves that certainly made a huge difference in the NBA. And you came here to the Minnesota Lynx for the first time in 2017. This is not your first stint here in Minnesota. You actually came here a while back, and that was a young Ceci, right? It was a much different time. But what do you remember most about that first run here with the Minnesota Lynx? You were part of that fourth and final championship of the dynasty run.
Yeah, it was it was unbelievable. Sometimes I think about it, I think back, and I feel like maybe it was just a dream. It was it never really happened to me. That's how I feel about it. Of course, I was very young. I was 21. I remember I came back from European Championship that summer, and my agent was waiting for me at the airport with my parents. Was about that's weird, Usually my parents are wait me at the airport so they can drive me home. And he was there. It was like, okay, let's go just take a coffee. I have news for you. I was like, what's going on? I was so tired. I couldn't sleep the night before after games. We just lost a very bad games in the European Championship and we got out. So I was kind of sad. And he was like, well, I got a call from Minnesota Lynx. And I was like, no, come on, don't joke with me. Like, why are you doing this to me? And then he was like, serious. And then I remember we just got it done with the visa. And after 2 weeks, I was just flying here. But for me, everything was just really like a dream. And I was so young that I couldn't even process everything. So it was amazing experience. It was my first time in the U.S. I just came once with my parents for a vacation, but really living in the U.S. and coming here alone. It was my first time so away from home. So it was just a great experience. I have a lot of great memories, and of course, I shared the locker room with some of the greatest players of all time. So to me, it's still like a dream, but I'm so grateful and honored for that opportunity.
Yeah, I bet that's awesome. I mean, we obviously just had Maya Moore's jersey go into the rafters not too long ago, and I was like, well, I don't think anyone played with Maya. Then I was like, wait a minute, Ceci actually played with Maya for a couple seasons, as well as Sylvia Fowles, Simone Augustus, Rebecca Lamar Brunson, Lindsay Whalen, and they were all here together on that jersey retirement night for Maya. For the other players, I'm sure it was like a fever dream for them, seeing their idols in all one building. But how did it feel to see all your former teammates back in the building all together and celebrating a story night for Maya?
I mean, it was amazing. I just felt like as my teammates probably super excited to see them once more again, all in the same place, because I haven't had the chance to, see them in the years that I wasn't here. So just an amazing night, a great atmosphere, and Yeah, it was very exciting. It was a great honor to witness that, to witness greatness, and being able also to see my retirement. It was a great night. Yeah,
that's awesome. And so you played there. That was your first stint with Minnesota. Now you came back here in 2024. Kind of walk us through your stint of coming back here to the Lynx. Why did you want to come back to Minnesota? How did that all come about? Because you were playing the past couple of years back over in Europe after that first stint you had here in Minnesota.
Yeah, I just have been, I've been playing overseas. I've been playing EuroLeague. I've been playing European Championship with the Italian national team. So sometimes in summer it was hard to, make everything like meet at the same time, at the right time. For example, one summer I had an injury in my foot, so I really had to get the surgery. So for that reason, I wasn't able to commit to that. And then for what about this summer, I just wanted like to try again and see if the team wanted me to come back, if they think that I could have the team, and that was just what happened. And I'm glad they called me back, and I'm glad I can try again in a different moment of my life and see where I'm at, and in some kind of way try to have the team as much as I can.
Yeah, you're an older version of yourself now and a much more improved version on the floor, and you've been able to help the team out a lot. I'm curious, are there any similarities that you see between this year's Lynx team that currently right now first in the Western Conference, chance of maybe pushing for another title versus that team that you first came into back in 2017?
I have to be honest. As I said before, I was so young.
Yeah, you're like, I was
really
grateful to
like
be there.
Everywhere I was going, it was like a dream. And it's not that I don't remember, but I didn't really have time to process everything. So I was
that's
just like, as a kid in the kindergarten.
Right,
so
yeah.
That's how I felt. But for sure, I remember that I felt super welcome in the team when I came 6 years ago. And that was the same this year, like the organization, the team, all my teammates, so that's for sure something that I remember from the Lynx, and I found it the same this way, which was great.
So talk about those fans, Ceci, because the Lynx fans are very passionate, always showing out here at Target Center. What have they meant to you? What are some of your biggest impressions about this whole fan base as a whole here with the Lynx?
Yeah, it's great, to have so many games in such a long season, and being able to have a full arena every night. Now, night in and night out, it's great for us, and I believe sometimes they really help us to get through maybe tough moments during some games. So it's always nice, and it's always so loud. They're very committed to the team and to all our games. So it's amazing to have them behind us. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. And you've had some incredible performances this season, but the one that sticks out to me the most is the night of the Commissioner's Cup championship game, where, of course, it was a big night for the team, but you played a big part in us getting that championship win in the Commissioner's Cup. We were playing up in New York, UBS Arena, against Liberty. You come off the bench and you're on fire. You're knocking down shots, providing a big spark.
Minnesota doing a good job of swarming the ball on the defensive end, but offensively, when they play together, they make it hard for anybody to guard.
Zandalasini, 15 points, going glass.
What do you remember most about that night? I know your family also was there to see that performance. What did that whole Commissioner's Cup mean to you to be able to get that championship?
Yeah, it was a great run for us. Of course, getting to the final, playing New York. For sure, we were not probably as the favorites of that game. So I just felt a very great energy in the locker room since in the morning shoot around, in the gym, in the morning shoot around. There was great energies between us at the same time before the game, in the locker room, during warm-up. So I just felt good. I feel like the same from my teammates. Everybody was feeling good, was feeling confident. We just really wanted to go out and play. And this is what we did. And for me, I just came out, tried to be as much as aggressive as I could. I was able to knock down some shots, so I'm just happy about that. And I had my mom and my sister came over from Italy to New York. They actually spent the weekend in the city.
Okay.
And and then they just came watch also my game. So it was great to have them there. And I just have great memories from that night, and it was a big honor to win that championship and lift the trophy.
Yeah, definitely an incredible night. A lot of celebration, a lot of fun, and rightfully so, beating a great team like the New York Liberty. And you played overseas for a while. You played here in the W now for a couple seasons. What would you say is maybe the biggest difference between WNBA basketball versus basketball overseas?
There's a lot of difference for sure. Like how's the season? It's scheduled, so you have so many games, so many travel. Sometimes you play even like 3-4 games in a week, so you have to like stay ready and prepare your body. Maybe you have less practices to also like try to get better. So that's the biggest difference. So like so many games in a short amount of time, and of course like. Every team is so talented here. Like no joking, you see like the best players in the world that they play here. So night in and night out, you have the chance to face some of the best. For sure, that happened also in Europe when you play EuroLeague, because a lot of foreigners, Americans, or WNBA player, they come over to play in Europe. So I was able to play against them as well in EuroLeague, and it's always a great challenge. But here for sure the most challenge is every night you get to see like great players, and you have to front them. So yeah,
that's awesome. And your game is I describe it, you've got one of the best jump shots I think I've seen out of any player in the W. Just the way it's pure, you're able to knock down 3-pointers a lot for us here this season. But how would you personally describe your play style? Someone asked, how does Cecilia Zandalasini like to play on the court? What would you say to that?
I would say for sure my shot, it's my one of my best ability. But I think I can do a lot of more things, and one of the things that I think I can do is like adapting to the team, and just kind of understanding my role and try to do the best as I can, to help the team. That would be the things that I could do. I have a lot of work to do because it was kind of hard like to adapting when I came back here because the game is going so fast and everything it's so quick. So I just had to taking a little bit of time to adjust to that. But and I'm still like trying to do my best. But for sure, those two things I try to adjust, and I think it's good.
That's awesome. So where else are you hoping to go in your career? What other goals do you have for the remainder of your professional basketball career? Where else are you trying to hope to go in the sport of basketball?
Yeah, for sure. One of my something that I really wanted to achieve that I haven't been able to do is winning something with my national team. So we have the European Championship coming up next summer. We're actually hosting a part of the tournament there. So. But besides that, like anything with my national team would be really, really good achievement. So, I always try to play with them and to do the best that I can.
I love that. And obviously basketball is a big part of your life, but off the court, what are some interests you have, hobbies, passions? What are some things that you like to do when you're not playing basketball?
Just few things. I feel like I'm a very simple person. I brought a lot of books here from Italy. I try to read in English, but it's so hard for me. I feel like I can, but I'm not enjoying my book, So I brought some books from Italy, so just to read as we travel. We spend a lot of time in the airplane and in the hotel, and so that one for sure. Last couple of years, I've been always been into photography, some kind of. So more like old style. I take. I'm kind of collecting vintage camera and film rolls. Yeah,
okay.
So I take with that, and when you go develop them, you get away for your scan. It's just that feeling. It's sometimes horrible and sometimes it's great. So I just like the waiting that is behind it. But besides that, just those two things, and just yeah.
Yeah, those are some fun things you're doing. I love that. Obviously, being from Italy, that is very cool. We have actually quite a amount of international players on our squad here, right? Dorica Uaz from Hungary. We have plenty of players coming over. Bridget Carlton, Canada. Alana Smith, Australia. How does that make you feel, knowing that the WNBA, it seems like it's starting obviously to grow as a whole, as a league, but also starting to see more players coming from overseas and these other countries playing here in the W now?
Yeah, it's great for sure. There are a lot of very good players around the world, and I'm glad that it's happening also for them, that being able to come and play in the W, which is the greatest league we have for women's basketball. So for sure, it's the best challenge that the player could face, and it's a great honor, to participate in this league. And for sure, there's been a couple of difference because WNBA is in the summer. Sometimes you gotta choose, or you want to make both of them,
right.
And you have to feel like your body. So sometimes it's hard, for players. But I'm happy that the league is more welcoming, and it's it's open to all of the players that can actually like play here. So that's a great thing.
That's incredible. And last question for you, Ceci, before we head to our final segment. You're playing in the W. You've got a lot of eyeballs on you. A lot of young girls are definitely watching, and I'm sure even over in Italy, probably watching you and looking up to you as an inspiration. You were talking earlier about how you looked at the players like Kobe Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki, seeing them play. But how does it make you feel knowing that your play style right now is probably out there inspiring some young girls and even young boys out there for that matter as well?
Yeah, it's always a great honor, and I take it with a great pleasure. And for sure, I know in Italy also when I was playing there, a lot of young kids and young girls comes to watch me play, my team play. So it's always a great thing, inspire the young generation and show them the way that we can do things, so we can play at a high level and we can do all the things that we do in this league.
That's fantastic. All right, Ceci, so our final segment here is a rapid-fire segment. We're going to just ask you some rapid-fire questions, get to know you off the court. You ready for it?
No.
All right. All good. We'll go ahead and we'll make it easy for you, I promise. If you got to have any superpower, what would it be?
Probably teletransportation. Is that a word?
Like teleportation, like going to other places?
Yes.
Yeah, whenever you want
like
to.
I do this
just like that.
I find myself home, in Italy, and then I do this, and I
come back right after shooting around. You go to Italy, get some lunch with the fam, and then come back to play.
Exactly.
There we go. What's one food you can't live without?
That's too many. Probably pasta.
Yeah, you got a lot of foods, I'm sure, over in Italy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite American food?
I don't know. Pizza, but we got pizza.
Yeah, you got the better pizza, right? Yeah, I think I'd asked you, had you had New York pizza, but you hadn't had the New York pizza yet.
I haven't had it.
Have you had deep dish? Any other Minnesota pizza?
No, I haven't tried.
Yeah,
no.
One of these days, right?
Yes.
Also.
Yes.
What's your favorite sports movie of all time?
Sports movie. Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Yes.
Oh, that's a classic. That's a classic. If you had to compete in a talent show, you had to get up on stage and do a talent in front of a crowd, what talent are you going to do?
Basketball.
Basketball, yeah. Go ahead and show us some handles, right?
Yeah, I don't know what else.
Yeah. What's your favorite WNBA city to travel to?
Probably Chicago or New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one U.S. city that you haven't been to that you'd like to go to someday?
Boston.
Boston's a really cool city.
It's
really fun. If you weren't playing basketball, what do you think you'd be doing professionally right now for your career?
As a sport
or just anything? If you weren't playing basketball, what job do you think you'd be doing?
I don't know. Lately, I like watching tennis, so I could picture myself maybe playing tennis.
Yeah, playing
after
tennis.
My career, but I don't know if I could be a pro player if I.
Okay, yeah, I like it. And last question for you, Ceci. What's one fun fact that a lot of people don't know about you?
I just love the Marvel movies, the Avengers saga.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been watching them 10 times.
Nice. Do you have a favorite character?
Iron Man.
All right, Iron Man. Love it. All right, Ceci, thank you so much for hopping on with us. It's a pleasure to have you back here in Minnesota. I know the fans love you, so best of luck the rest of the way. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
There you have it, folks. That was today's episode of Lynx Unleashed with Cecilia Zandalasini.